Oh, hey, Blue Dude. That's your name, right? What? Oh, hey. I'm actually surprised you stuck around. Hey, Mario, what's up? Yeah. So I've been hearing a bunch of stuff about some SML movie. Do you know what that's all about? Dear God, it actually happened. Wait, what actually happened? No, listen, I don't have time to talk right now. I've got to get out of here. What?
Oh man, I gotta get... Oh, hi, Sonic. Psst, hey, Blue Dude. What is it, Sonic? Make another video about SML. Pretty good idea, huh? Sonic, no. That's over already. I said this, nearly a year ago, actually. It's done. It's over. No. Please? No. No. I wouldn't bother him until he says yes. Please? No!
What?
Please? Please?
No!
Well, you think about it. Please? What? No! Stop invading my computer screen.
Come on.
Please?
What? No!
Please, 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 please. Wow, talk about an overreaction, pal. Why do you even want one so badly? But Blue Dude, you said there would be a video on the SML movie if it ever came out. Okay, yeah, I know. I mean, technically that's true, but I mean, I made that promise back before even, like, you know, the puppets were introduced, and please! Fine. You want me to do a video on the SML movie so bad? Fine, whatever. You get one more SML video out of me, and that's only because I promised I would do something on the SML movie if it ever released. I'll call it, I don't know, SML Epilogue or something. So, yeah, the SML movie. Never thought that would release, honestly. So the SML movie was finally released, and I did say that I would return once it was released. Mind you, I didn't think I needed to worry about it since I didn't think it would ever get released, but it kinda was. So consider this the SML Epilogue. And remember, an epilogue isn't the final chapter, it's the thing that comes after the final chapter. So let's get this out of the way. There will be some people who try to argue that this isn't actually the real movie. And you know what? In a way, they're right. And in a way, they're wrong. I don't consider this the SuperMarioLogan movie. As in, I think that the honor of having that title should remain with Maf. And we'll talk about Maf's Super Mario Logan movie in a bit. But when it comes to strictly the thing that Logan has been hyping up for several years at this point, the Super Mario Logan movie and the SML movie are one and the same, at least in terms of hype. And yes, the video we got was an overly watered down version of what we'd been expecting. It had a similar plot, albeit cut down by quite a bit. Yeah, but you see, technically this isn't called the SML movie. This is actually called Jeffy's 18th birthday. While you're technically correct, the best kind of correct, in practice, Logan and his crew members were calling this the SML movie, and from what we know the original plot of the movie, this shares enough plot points with the movie we didn't get that it's for all intents and purposes the SML movie. Now of course, Logan named it the way he did for a reason. If the video didn't do well, which it didn't, Logan could try to backpedal and pretend that it wasn't actually the real thing. But let's face it, it was, and we're tackling the video as such. But before we do, let me discuss a few other things first. The state of modern SML. This era has been called the puppet era, and rightfully so, and I've watched very few of these videos. Aside from the movie, I haven't watched any of Logan's newer videos in over a year at this point. From what I've been told by people who have watched videos from the previous year, it's the typical thing that we've come to expect from Logan. At best, meh, save for the occasional actually pretty decent video, and at worst just sort of awful. I've also heard that they've been introducing some really weird or gross plots or references in, though to be fair I haven't seen any of that for myself, so take that with a grain of salt. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get on to the review. This video involves Nancy managing to break out of jail, just like the original plot of the movie. Meanwhile, Screwball is driving around in his free candy van because of course he is. Guess they don't have the ice cream truck anymore, huh? And you know what? Let me take some of this time to applaud some of the cinematography here. If there's one thing this video does right, is that we actually get some pretty cool camera angles here, and some cool effects later on in the video. Yeah, really savor that. Really savor the one objective pro of this entire video. Because it's all downhill from here. Nancy and Screwball decide to team up so that Nancy can get Jeffy's inheritance money. Yeah, remember that plot point? The whole reason that Mario's been... Marvin! What? Yeah, his name is Marvin now. That's stupid. I'm just gonna keep calling him Mario. The whole reason that Mario's been taking care of Jeffy this whole time has been for some of that sweet inheritance money. Oh, we'll get to that. It's Jeffy's birthday because duh, and honestly I'm gonna fast forward through this because I don't care. It's nothing abysmal, but it's more the typical birthday video stuff. However, then we learn that Jacques-Pierre Francois actually isn't dead, which means no inheritance money for Mario. Can we call this Deus Ex Machina, except instead it's reasons why we need to keep Jeffy around longer? Mario rightfully loses it upon hearing this news because Jeffy has made his life hell and has also destroyed 3 perfectly good channels. We eventually get back to the plot similar to the one from the original movie, except instead of Mario getting abducted intentionally, instead it just sort of happens because Screwball is dumb. But no one seems to really care that Mario's gone, and Rosalina, of course, jumps to conclusions about Mario's whereabouts before finally listening. Because haha guys, it's funny because we need to make Mario's life hell! Then we get the one segment of filler in this video. It isn't the worst thing ever, but it's a bit irksome and wasn't really needed. Finally, we get to the final battle. Eventually a deal is reached where Mario is traded for Jeffy. However, because Mario suddenly cares about Jeffy for some reason, they have to try and stop Nancy and Screwball from getting away with him. Luckily, Simmons is able to use his sniper rifle. Yeah, his sniper rifle. But instead of blowing out one of the tires, Simmons accidentally blows up the van instead, and okay, I'll admit this entire scene with the car chase followed by the van blowing up was actually pretty well done and looked really cool, so good on Logan for that. Everyone in the van is presumed dead, but oops, haha, just kidding, the plot saved Jeffy and Screwball. And yeah, that's it. That was the SML movie. Something that was supposed to be this incredible feature-length movie not only got cut down to a 37-minute long special video that had none of the staying power the original plot would have had, but it also Deus Ex Machina'd its plot, and had Jeffy learn, as always, basically nothing. 6 out of 10. I like the cinematography, and I'm not going to rate this any lower since even though the plot was bad, the characters weren't overly annoying, and there wasn't tons of filler, but this is just boring and definitely not worthy of the title of the SML movie that had been hyped up for years. Hey, you know what this video really reminds me of? The Secret Door. This is just the Secret Door 2. Think about it, we've got way too much hype that's been building in pressure over the years. the crew releasing teasers of the video just before release, we have one actually really well done segment from a visual perspective, and then we have one of the dumbest endings ever. And that's the thing. This video is perfectly fine as just another SML video. But it isn't fine as soon as it becomes the SML movie. The thing that was hyped up for several years. That's where this video truly falls flat. Not as a standalone video, but as the culmination of years of waiting for this. I didn't need to come back for this video of all things. You know who did the SML movie way better? Mafdominus. As I've said, I do think that the movie is rough around the edges, but I think it had a pretty good plot, had more characters that were also actually okay to look at, and the main character actually learned something. Also, spoilers ahead for Maf's Super Mario Logan movie. Go watch it if you haven't already. I'm going to start the spoiler section in about 5 seconds. Okay, so in the movie, Junior actually learns something and reflects on his poor decisions and how mean he's been to people, particularly Chef PP, both throughout the movie and in general. And while one could theoretically argue that the plot does get Deus Ex Machina'd at one point, I don't think that's fair, since there's actually reasoning for it, as opposed to, uh-oh, we wrote ourselves into a corner. Quick, make the character come back to life at the end and then end the video. Now, I've got a question for all of you. Why could Mafdominus basically doing this all on his own simply because he wanted to see the Super Mario Logan movie become a real thing, with basically zero budget behind it, manage to make a better movie than Logan could with several paid actors helping out with it, and a much larger budget? In fact, I'll say this much as well. If the SML movie had been over an hour long, I could have understood it not being perfect. There probably would have been some slow moments. But when the video was cut down to just over half an hour, then there's an even higher bar for this thing that's been hyped up for years, since, it didn't even meet feature length. So this is, the second time now that someone doing things for fun has managed to blow any and all of Logan's efforts with his crew of several people doing this as their job just clear out of the water? Now, make no mistake, I don't think Maf's Super Mario Logan movie is perfect. I've said on numerous occasions now that it's rough around the edges. The audio could have especially used some work, but at the end of the day, it's miles better than what we got from Logan. So congratulations to Maf on that front, but also shame on Logan. Logan, I expected better of you for something that had been hyped for years. And I get it, Logan couldn't make it quite the same since he couldn't fall back on the old characters anymore and make a true Super Mario Logan movie, akin to the plot Zika told us about. But come on, there's a difference between that and whatever this video was, because this was just kinda sad. Before I conclude, I want to discuss what I believe will happen to Logan's channel in the future, even if just briefly. I think that Logan's got, if nothing else, a rocky path ahead of him, and I personally believe that Logan's in the beginning or middle stages of what I'd call an irrecoverable stall. While I don't personally normally look at views as a measure of success, Logan sure does. And while his view counts aren't bad per se, I remember a time where he used to get 4 to 5 million views within the first 24 hours of uploading. Now from time to time when I see his videos get recommended, I'll notice that they can barely hit 2 million, sometimes not even 1 million, within that same time span. Again, those are still good view counts, but for Logan, that's a reduction in the first day views, which are the most important, by more than half. That doesn't bode well. But again, who cares, right? Well, Logan. Logan has cared about view counts a lot, both in the past and in the present. I don't think that Logan's channel will ever get to a point where it's getting literally no views, but the way I see it, Logan's going to gradually over the next couple of years begin fighting to get his channel out of this dive, and that's potentially burning through a lot of money trying to keep things stable, but I think it's a matter of too little too late at this point. If I were Logan, where the views and money mattered to me that much, and I had a crew and now a family to pay for, I'd personally quit while I was still somewhat ahead, particularly monetarily, instead of burning through most of it trying to keep things afloat. But hey, that's just me. I mean, if nothing else, I'd focus on taking care of the kid like, a father would, and leave most of the big channel decisions to Chris, probably the best person in that crew. I still don't think that would cause another rise, but maybe, just maybe, that would stabilize things. But again, these are all just my guesses at this point in time. I may very well be incorrect. Well, I kept my promise. I did say I would come back for the SML movie, and I sure did. And it was a mess. Not the worst video I've ever seen from Logan, far from it as a matter of fact, but it's just so disappointing to see what's happened to Logan. I believe that this was the ace up Logan's sleeve. If the SML movie didn't get people to watch, nothing would. Logan should have brought his all to this. But instead what we got was pretty much more of the same, but with some new cool looking camera angles. Logan has become too disappointing to watch anymore. I know some people thought that I left all because of the puppets, and while that certainly didn't help matters, it was simply what Logan had become. Like I said at the end of the rise and fall of SML, he lost his creative spark, and that did far more damage than anything else. And it's my belief that this movie is the culmination of all of that. He couldn't even be bothered to make a good movie, instead just phoning it in once again. His final hurrah ended up being a complete blunder that he probably assumed would get a pass because we got some new and cool looking camera angles. The one upside that modern SML does have over older eras is that modern SML has become so radically different from even just a while ago, its definition at this point so broad and nebulous, its characters so unbelievably flanderized, that basically anyone could make an SML video at this point. What, is this the Mario you recognize? What about Junior? Cody? SML at this point doesn't stand for anything. It doesn't mean SuperMarioLogan anymore. At least not to Logan, and most fans probably wouldn't even recognize it if they've been away for any amount of time. It's unintentionally spawned the potential for a theoretical SML extended universe, which I personally think of as a good opportunity for a wealth of fan content. If nothing's canon, everything is. I didn't want to return, but I said I would for the movie, and now that I have, I'm still not sticking around. I expected nothing much, and was still somehow disappointed. That's the last SML video I'm making. I have no other outstanding promises, nor do I plan on making any more. Thank you all for watching, and take care.